Good evening and welcome to the August edition of the Town of Kent Zoning Board of Appeals. Before we begin, will everyone please rise and join me in pledging allegiance to the flag of our country. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, first application up is that of Christine Hollick, 44 Oneonta Road. Please, Ms. Hollick, go up to the podium, sign in, and if you have any receipts, green receipts, if that was necessary, just you can turn them in at this time. Anyone else out there in the audience, if you have any of those return receipt green cards, if you need to turn them in, make sure you do.
I don't have that, but I do have letters from my neighbors.
Okay. Yeah, those. Mhm. Please. Thank you. Okay, Ms. Hogg, so please tell us why you're here this evening.
For a variance for my pool.
That was short and sweet. Safety setbacks for your pool. Okay, we had a chance to visit your residence and take a look at it. Yeah, it's definitely not in compliance with the town code as stipulated. It's also my understanding through some research that some years ago, the town had requested that more detailed drawings be submitted to it relative to that pool, and they were subsequently never submitted, and whomever went forward with the installation of the pool. I'm going to open it up for any commentary from the board members. At this point in time, I am not really in favor of approving the safety variance for obvious reasons. Any other commentary from the board members?
Yeah, when I stopped by, it was a little bit too close to the house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, there being no further commentary, do I have a motion to deny this application?
So you're suggesting taking the pool down?
Correct.
Not a
Do
problem.
I have a motion to deny this application?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
Do you have paperwork saying that?
You can follow up with the building department.
I'll send it to you.
Oh.
Don't put it in the file.
Oh, thank you. Next application up is that of 435 Route 52, Carmel, New York, LLC. Evening. Thank you.
Good evening. Forgive me, as you can hear, my voice is not very well today. So, name is Michael Berta. I'm the architect for the applicant. So what we have is an existing piece of property at 435, Route 52. Right now, it's currently a mixed-use property, and we're looking to take the existing accessory structure in the back and convert that from the commercial use now into a residential use. The property owner is with me today, and he'll speak a little bit more in a second about the financial reasons, what's causing the hardship for that. But we have letters here from Belmonte Realty that will show that the property has been trying to be rented for a lot of years with very little success for a retail business. And buildings have been vacant for 6, 7 plus years. We're not sure how long. And given the fact of the changes that would need to be made, I think that it's the best use for that to convert it into 2 apartments, 2 one-bedroom apartments. We'll bring a little bit of life back to it. The exterior upkeep and the additions and the renovations that will happen on the outside, I think will bring it to a much better looking piece of property for that area. So changes that we're going to have to do to the site is we have 2 small little vestibule additions that we're going to be putting on that just to bring an entryway in. And we're going to expand the parking a little bit on either side of the accessory structure for 2 parking spaces. Other than that, we're not adding any additional asphalt. We are going to be removing a little bit of asphalt in front of the accessory building. We create a small planting area for a little bit of landscaping in front of it. Plus, we'll be landscaping around the sides of it, just to kind of brighten it up and to just give it a little bit, get rid of some of the big sea of asphalt that goes right up to the doorway right now.
Okay, now, 435 Route 52 LLC currently owns the property, is that correct?
Correct. You've had it for about a year now. They've owned it for about a year now.
For about a year?
About a year.
Okay. So I've done some research on the property, and over the years, the property's been shown, my best guesstimate is over 800 times.
Yes.
Okay? Which tells me that, when you purchased the property approximately a year ago, I'm sure you did your research and you were aware of that.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
There's 2 buildings there, so we don't want to change the one on the street that faces it. It's some that have commercial on the bottom. And I don't want to change that. I understand that's it. We've done our due diligence, tried to rent it. We didn't, which I figured because the guy I bought it from said that, well, the person I bought it from, the agent, said that they've been trying to list it for 5 years and they couldn't get anybody to rent it. So I get that, and I'm still trying to rent it, but nobody wants it. But there's an auxiliary building that sits back off the property. It's not on the street, it's in the back, it's away from everything. So that one, I would like to have that one, it's 1 story. But if I could take that one and put that residential, put 2 apartments, and that would generate income. Because right now, we're barely breaking even, taking loss on property. That would then create funds so I could do things to make it look better, because it's not a pretty site. You drive by it, it's not attractive. But right now, we're losing money, so I don't have funds to fix the landscaping up and do repairs like the rock wall there and that ugly core iron there and the siding. So if I could turn a profit on the building, then I could do things like that, which, it's right at the lake. It's one first thing you see when you're going into, Lake Carmel and stuff, and it's not attractive. So it create the opportunity for us to turn a profit, which we can't currently. Then I could use that to beautify the neighborhood and the area around it, which I think helps everyone there. And I've even spoken with our neighbors who attached buildings, and they support that as well. They'd like to see it look nicer, because that helps their business as well. It's more attractive.
Yeah, you work for Honeydew Man, or you own it?
Yes.
Okay, so you're a pretty experienced guy. Okay, you know your field. So when you bought that a year ago, you knew that it was shown a bunch of times and it just wasn't selling, which I'm not a builder, but it would send a signal up to me that I need to do something to make that commercial structure a bit more attractive to possible renters.
Well,
Okay.
we have tenants, but I can get a.
Well, you have tenants on the residential area, but I'm talking about the commercial end of it. So that's the signal that would send to me. Look, in my opinion, you knew what you were walking into when you bought the property. Okay? I don't think you would dispute that. And I'm not inclined to grant this variance for a number of reasons. I'll open it up to board members.
I kind of felt the same way. I mean, I understand you want it better. I understand that you're looking to, beautify the building you're talking about, but it is a commercial property. And in this town, there is the regulation that we can follow for 4 or 5 requirements to change over to residential. I don't believe you're meeting those requirements at this time. And again, it is a commercial area, and I would assume you want to remain a commercial. It would be setting a bad precedence to move forward with something like that, in my opinion, to change that, because in the potential for other areas or other buildings in that particular area could be looking to do the same thing, and we would have no commercial business there, essentially, if we were to change, or have the ability to change over to residential. So that's just my feeling.
But there's no demand for commercial.
I'm sorry?
I already said, there's no demand for commercial. No one wants commercial. That people are working from home, they're going remote, they're not looking for office space, they're looking at buildings. The commercial demand is garbage. I mean, I've asked around and talked, it's not there. The demand for residential is there. So you have people that are looking for homes, they're looking for places to live, they're looking for apartments, and we don't have enough of it. So that satisfies that, like, people looking for a place to live, and there's not, and then what is just ridiculously overpriced, and they can't afford it, so they're looking for apartments. And no one's looking for commercial, they don't want it. That's why I said empty. It's not just the space, it's that, just period. People aren't buying buildings, they're buying warehouses, because you have things like Amazon, and you have things like Walmart, they're looking for warehouses, they're looking for storage. No one's opening offices, no one's looking for a doctor's building or lawyers or anything like that to work from home or remote. It's a dead market. So I recognize what you're saying. I'm just saying that there's no demand for it.
We, excuse me, we are planning on keeping the front building as the commercial aspect, being the fact that this building is set way back, and that it has no real clear view from Route 52. So the commercial use of it is, it also is, minimal, because most people for retail, they want to be seen. They want the business seen from the road. So that's our, we have no dispute that the retail space that's there is going to be kept. We'll never, there's no intentions of ever asking for that to be converted over. But because this building, the location of it, and how it's set back and how it's hidden, from the road, it's got a very minimal use for anybody that wants a retail type of establishment.
Well, your points are well taken, but there's a larger issue here. The larger issue here is any decision that we make here this evening has the potential to affect the entire area. So it's not just you. If it was just you, but it's not. It's got the potential to affect the entire area, and that's why I'm not in favor of approving the application.
But does it affect it in a negative way?
I'm sorry?
Does it affect it in a negative way? I mean, it opens it up to possibilities.
Whether it's negative or whether it's positive, that remains to be seen, but it has the potential to have a huge effect on the demographic of the area, and that's why, in my opinion, I'm not in favor of approving this. All right, no further discussion. Anything further?
Anybody else in the audience?
Does anyone else in the audience wish to comment on this application?
What do they have to do to get a variance?
Excuse me?
What do these people have to do to get a variance?
Are you with the, are you?
I'm next door.
You're next door. They have to meet certain parameters for an area variance that is outlined in the town code. Okay, and they're asking for a change of zoning from commercial to residential. Okay, so they have to meet a certain criteria established by the town, And at this time, I feel that they haven't met that criteria, and as it stands right now, I'm not in support of it. Any other commentary?
Nope.
Do I have a motion to deny the application?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay, next up on the application is a decision for Ms. Julia Vishnopolsky, 69 Clubhouse Drive, Carmel, New York. Now, this application, the public meeting was closed on this application some time ago. We will read our decision for the record this evening. The applicant was applying for an area variance for 20-foot road frontage to construct a one-family dwelling. And the zoning board has made a decision in this case, and it is as follows. The applicant owns certain real property commonly known as 69 Clubhouse Drive, Carmel, New York, 10512. Section block lot number 33.35-1-46, also known as the property. She comes before the Town of Kent Zoning Board of Appeals, the ZBA, seeking an area variance to construct a one-family residence on a non-complying lot and an area variance allowing for 20 feet, for a 20-foot variance in the road frontage for a one-family dwelling. The ZBA notes that this applicant previously appeared before the ZBA seeking a use variance to construct a one-family residence on a non-complying lot based on her contention that she should be allowed to construct a house on the property where one had previously been. The prior house was destroyed by fire in 2019, and the Town of Kent verified that it had been demolished in October of 2019. Under the current town code, the prior residence was non-conforming. The Town of Kent provides for the reconstruction of non-conforming uses if done within 2 years of the destruction. The applicant did not purchase the property until June 17, 2022, well after the expiration of the 2-year period. Her prior application for a use variance was denied. The applicant has now requested a rehearing of the application, changing her requested variances to 2 area variances she contends are required to enable her to construct a single-family home on the property. The applicant reappeared before the ZBA, and a public hearing on her application was held. All those wishing to speak on behalf or against the application were given the opportunity to be heard, including the applicant and her representative. The ZBA inquired of the applicant at the meeting. Having considered the application and testimony presented at the public hearing, the ZBA makes the following findings of fact. One, the property is an R10 one-family residence zoning district. 2, the applicant purchased the property on June 17, 2022. 3, the property comprises 8,000 square feet of land and is 80 feet wide by 100 feet long. The applicant obtained County of Putnam Board of Health approval for a well and septic system and installed both before requesting the subject variances from the ZBA. The principal permitted use in the R10 zoning district are one-family dwellings. See Town of Kent Code 77-15A1. The bulk requirements in the R10 zoning district require, among other things, that the minimum lot area shall be not less than 10,000 square feet, as cited in 77-16A, and the minimum lot width shall not be less than 100 feet, cited in 77-16B. The property does not comply with these requirements. In considering an application for an area variance, the ZBA must consider whether an undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby properties will be created by granting an area variance. 2, whether the benefits sought by the applicant can be achieved by some method feasible to the applicant to pursue, other than an area variance. 3, whether the requested area variance is substantial. 4, whether the proposed variance will have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district. And 5, whether the alleged difficulty was self-created. See the matter as cited in the matter of Nunnally versus Zoning Board of Appeals of the Town of New Windsor, 2023. Now, applying this standard, and based on the information and testimony submitted to the ZBA, the applicant's application for an area variance to construct a one-family residence on a non-complying lot is denied. The applicant's application for an area variance allowing for a 20-foot variance in road frontage for a one-family dwelling is denied. The ZBA finds that granting the requested variances will have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions in nearby Lake Carmel. According to the Town of Kent's Comprehensive Master Plan, Lake Carmel is an environmentally sensitive area that has suffered significant environmental impact through eutrophication, resulting in the deterioration of water quality. According to studies cited in the plan, Lake Carmel has been impacted by the creation of many lots around it of substandard size upon which residences were built. See the Town of Kent Comprehensive Master Plan adopted in November of 2008, pages 21 through 24. The master plan recognizes that the town's environmental features are of utmost import and must be protected moving forward. The Town of Kent zoning code likewise provides requirements for building lots in the R10 zoning district requiring a minimum of 10,000 square feet to prohibit the further development of substandard lots and further impact on Lake Carmel moving forward. See the Town of Kent Code 77-16 subsection A. See also Town of Kent Comprehensive Master Plan as cited in pages 52 through 53. It is the Town of Kent's stated intention to preclude further redevelopment of substandard lots, such as the property to protect the environmentally sensitive nature of areas like Lake Carmel. Indeed, the Town of Kent Comprehensive Master Plan specifically provides Kent's zoning code requires that each lot contain sufficient land area free of environmental constraints in order to allow for the construction of a septic system. This area is specified as being a 10,000 square foot environmental rectangle within which septic field and septic field expansion areas shall be located and constructed. Town of Kent Comprehensive Master Plan, page 27, the applicant has advised the ZBA that the County of Putnam Board of Health has approved a well and septic system installation at the property. However, the Board of Health applies its own standards to the application, which are not necessarily the same as those in the Town of Kent and do not supplant the Town of Kent code requirements. Further, while the ZBA sympathizes with the applicant, her hardship is self-created. The applicant was aware before she purchased the property that variances would be required to construct a residence on the property. Obtaining the variances was not guaranteed. Prior to even applying for the variances, the applicant, through her engineer, sought the Board of Health's approval of a well and septic system at the property and installed both. Had the applicant sought the variances she knew were necessary, she could have avoided the expenses she now seeks to use as a justification for granting the variance. For these reasons, the ZBA denies the applicant's request for an area variance to construct a one-family residence on a non-complying lot and an area variance allowing for a 20-foot variance in road frontage for a one-family dwelling. With that, I'm going to add, Vera, can you conduct a poll vote, please?
Yes, Mr. Mocha,
Yes. Yay.
Mr. Greco,
Yes.
Mr. Ulick,
I also vote yes.
the motion carries.
Motion is carried. Application is subsequently denied. Okay, do we have anything else before the board tonight? I see, oh, that was what's going? There's nothing else on the agenda. Do we have any, I believe we had minutes to approve tonight, but I'm going to hold that over till next month because we need to take a more detailed look at them. Okay? So, thank you, Vera. Is there anything else before the board before I proceed to close? There being nothing, do I have a motion to close?
I'll make that motion to close.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
See you next month. Good night.
Have a good night.